Tom Fury, Zero News. Good to see you. Sorry, I'm not live again, but I will go live again soon as I can. There's been something that used to be at least hidden, that's been creeping under our noses from the left for quite some time now. And we saw it more now openly with Charlie Kirk, and we're seeing it with the Bondi Beach killings. And if you haven't seen the mourners, the people who try to go and mourn the place like normally happens the next day at Bondi Beach, were attacked by pro-Palestinian supporters. We've had in America been watching that there's groups on the left not only trying to help Charlie Kirk's killer, but they've already been trying to help other people who have also murdered politically for political reasons, or just in some cases have just done a rampant murder, but people have turned it political and have raised millions from the left to fight court cases for blatantly guilty people. The Antifa that used to always be put in a position to hurt us, but really it was the police that would do the job because they weren't up to it. They may be cowards, but cowards use things like weapons. And that used to be the Antifa you'd see in America. They used to arm themselves with tasers and this kind of thing. This year in 2025, a couple of protests I've been at, the left have ridden both a normal bike and another demo, an electric bike, into the crowd of people because they knew that they were part of a protest. That was their crime. They were just standing there, and that I was at one of both of those to catch. I didn't catch it on camera because it was happening at the other part of the end. I was sort of below it, but there was like a shockwave coming through the crowd. So, and these are acceptable things now. You see it in public now on TV, even from hosts in supposedly responsible positions on TV. Either won't condemn what would normally be morally reprehensible actions universally, regardless of politics, regardless of religion. These things would normally be universally condemned. But what you're seeing is the sympathy that, and this is why Hollywood still does its damage, the sympathy that comes out of there makes it okay, and the sympathy that other people that on the left that are creating makes it okay for other people to, again, now we're going to start attacking mourners. This has all been coming for a while. Like I say, with the celebration of Charlie Kirk's death, and even before that, there was a lot of things where the left have definitely been dehumanizing people more and more. So that in Britain now, the Antifa that you've got on the streets is more dangerous than it used to be. It's not tougher, but it's more dangerous. It's willing to go to bigger lengths because they believe in their revolution. It's what they're brainwashed to believe in. Even some people, who are hardline right-wing people now, started off as these people, and they will tell you, they will tell you they are total, in their heads, total revolutionaries. They're going to change the world for the better through violence. And this is what they're taught to believe. When I went to the Marxist festival, the same thing. You got old people telling young people that they need to basically murder two entire classes of people, and in order to get what they want. What we're starting to see now is an actualization of that ideology, that dehumanization of the enemy, the people, that how much hatred is creeping in, and how much of the dehumanization is kicking in. You start to see we've got a real problem now, because not only have we got the problem of the migration, the terrorists, and around the world, we've now got people actually coming out who are not part of their religion, even, who are coming out in support of their actions, whether they're killing people or whether they are in terms of like the shootings, or whether they are blowing people up, or whether it's terrorist attack, whatever you want to call them. people are more and more beginning to not just to be desensitized, like was my worry, but what I hadn't considered is that people would actually be starting to support them. But they are, unbelievably, they are, simply because of their political leanings. It's all out war for some people now. If you have different political beliefs, you deserve to die. So, and that's the dehumanization process right there. That's what they're doing to us, and it will be reciprocated. That's what happens in these situations. So, it's not a good development, and somehow we need to knock it on the head right now. Um, Sometimes that's by frightening people, but I'm not exactly sure how. But sometimes that is just by frightening people, show them a glimpse of what could be, and then pull back. And sometimes that's enough. It's enough. It's enough for people to realise I'm getting in, a bit deep. But other than that, I don't know. But you can see it's a growing thing. I hope it doesn't become the new normal. But it's been building up. The celebrations get bigger. The voices willing to support them become more prominent. How long is it before we just have? And this may seem far out to you, but how long is it before we have people blowing themselves up, and then you've just got normal talk show hosts in the morning or whatever on morning TV saying, "Yeah, but there's two sides to every story." How long is it going to be? How long is it going to be before we get to that kind of storytelling? Because we're not a million miles away from that dystopian reality, which more and more I feel like we're already in, rather than having to worry about facing. I think we're there. I think we're there. It's how these things happen. They happen beneath you, not to you necessarily, but beneath you. But anyway, so I just wanted to chime in on this because I don't know if people are really, I'm sure they are, but aware of the decline of the, what would I call it? Not just the morals, we know that, but of the all right, or better to put, maybe the emergence of the dehumanization of people from the left, especially from the left. It's happening in other places too, but it needs to be watched, seriously watched, because it's becoming very familiar looking to stuff that's happened in history. Anyway, I'm Tom Fury. This is Zero News. I'm calling it a day for now.